You don't have to be a parent to recognize the tragedy of children dealing with cancer and blood disorders, of course. For these kids and their families here, one of the only possible positives in such a horrific situation is the fact that world-class help is just down the road. Now, of course, Memphis is the primary home of St. Jude Children's Hospital, but the Jim and Trudy Maloof St. Jude Midwest Affiliate Clinic is located in Peoria. It's a joint effort of St. Jude Memphis, Children's Hospital of Illinois at OSF, St. Francis Medical Center, and the University of Illinois College of Medicine at Peoria. And this weekend, runners of all types and abilities converged on the Peoria affiliate at the conclusion of a series of runs, sort of like spokes meeting at the hub. The thing they all have in common is their commitment to raising funds for the critical research being done to end this insidious disease. It's an immensely complex and expensive endeavor, but families and patients never have to pay a single bill for their care. All the money comes from fundraisers like this one. 40 years they've been doing it from LaSalle, Peru, and for a great deal of that time, Kelly Schaefer and her family have been a huge part of it. We've reported that their efforts started when their newborn daughter was diagnosed right away. Now imagine being a first-time parent, confronted with this reality when you're just trying to figure out how to do the job of parenting. And when you just want to be home and happy and healthy together with your baby. The Schaefers not only faced the illness, but they beat it. And today, Madison Schaefer is 25 years cancer-free, pursuing a PhD and living the life she's chosen on her terms. You're going to meet Kelly today. I met her when we were kids. I first knew Kelly when she was Kelly Hartman in junior high. Sweet, smart, kind. Kelly has always been a wonderful person. After all she and her family have been through, she's still the same. We picked up where we left off, probably sometime in the 1980s after high school, when this week we talked about the St. Jude Run. Now, a few things to keep in mind when you're watching this video and when it's over. Runners target $1,000 each in fundraising. Some get less, some get more. Every bit helps. That's a lot of work. They can always use your financial or time support. Now, the run is over as you're seeing this, and I just passed people collecting money at the corner of 11th and Buckland Streets, and people were stopping for them too, which is very nice to see. And you can still contribute to this year's fundraising campaign. And in the video, she's going to tell you how. Now, Kathleen Whalen of Whalen Financial, I thank you, my friend, every week for sponsoring Tom's Take. It's segments, though, that like this one, that make me very grateful for your support. Now, here's Kelly.
It's like a leapfrog style event. So we have our run legs cut down into 3-mile segments. And so runners run 3 miles. They meet up with the caravan of the other runners and the vehicles that are making our way to Peoria. Everybody cheers and claps, and then they hand off to the next group of runners, and then those runners run the next 3 miles, and we just keep doing that all the way the 66 miles till we get to Peoria. In the past, I did run. I don't personally run anymore, but I just have enough going on with keeping everybody else happy and keeping the event running smoothly and being sure that runners are safe and fed and happy and everybody's having a good time. The Memphis to Peoria run, this is their 43rd year. LaSalle, Peru is the longest standing satellite run, celebrating their 40th anniversary of running this year. My daughter was born with cancer. And so our involvement began then when we were invited to speak at the St. Jude Telethon at the Civic Center when Madison was not even 1 year old yet. And at that time, everybody was saying, the runners are coming, and my husband and I are looking at each other going, well, what are they talking about? And then all of these thousands of runners come in to all these claps and cheers, and we didn't even know about this event. And my husband is a runner, and he looked at me and he said, we're doing this from the Quad Cities next year. We were the run coordinators of the Quad Cities to Peoria run for about 7 years until we moved back here to LaSalle, Peru, and then we joined up with the coordinators that were already up and running here locally. So we kind of took a participant role for a while here with the LaSalle Peru Run, and then there were some changes, and now I'm the coordinator. I'm happy to say that Madison is celebrating 25 years cancer-free as of March of this year.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so it's something to think back upon. As time goes, it's becoming less, in the forefront of my brain, which is just miraculous. But no, then, I was first-time mom.
I can only imagine then.
Yeah.
I mean, first time through everything, and then you have, and then she has this.
Yeah, and we didn't find out her diagnosis till we found out that she had a mass in her abdomen when she was 3 days old, and then we were transferred to Peoria, to the Children's Hospital there at St. Francis, and it was there that we first heard the word St. Jude.
Oh my gosh.
So we didn't even really know that we were going to end up with St. Jude, when we started the journey. But it was there when we met the St. Jude physicians, and they did a biopsy of her tumor when she was 7 days old, and they diagnosed her with neuroblastoma, which is cancer of the central nervous system. So she had a solid mass tumor in her abdomen and in her spinal canal. They told us that the next day, on the 8th day of her life, that she would start her first chemotherapy. They told us the plan was that she would have 4 rounds of chemotherapy. It would shrink the tumor to a pea size. They would go in and remove it. It would be as simple as that. Well, that wasn't what happened. And so St. Jude at that time consulted worldwide with other specialists with neuroblastoma, and they recommended 4 more rounds of chemotherapy. But because she was an infant, they were treading with caution. So we did 4 more rounds of chemotherapy, and her final MRI before surgery said that 60-some% still remained. And at that point, they told us they couldn't do any more chemotherapy for her, that they had to go in and remove it. Her neurosurgeon was going to go into her spine first, and that was the concern. They thought that it was going to take probably 6 to 10 hours. They weren't sure. They didn't want to cause further nerve damage and such. The neurosurgeon came out after 2 hours, and he said to us, "The tumor's gone." We're like, "What?" And he said, "I can see in her spinal canal where the tumor mass was, because her nerve bundles are pushed to the side, but there is no tumor." And Dr. Pearl is now in her abdomen, the general surgeon, and he will see what he finds in her abdomen. He came out, no tumor. She experienced her chemotherapy in more of a wham, bam, pow, that it all worked at once. When she was born, they told us she was an 8 in a million chance to be born with cancer. And she was the youngest infant that St. Jude Midwest affiliate ever treated up until that time. St. Jude advertises that they pay for everything, and they do. Like, literally, I would get our stacks of bills, and when we would go to clinic, which was at the St. Jude Midwest affiliate in Peoria, I would hand my stack of bills to the secretary when we walked in.
And you wouldn't see him again, basically. Wow. That's amazing.
We had medical supplies available to us, just to grab and go for things we needed. But the biggest, really the biggest blessing of St. Jude is the hope they give, as well as allowing a family to be a family during crisis time. I remember her St. Jude doctor named Dr. Sabing telling us, "You bring whatever stuff she's into right now, and when she's getting your chemotherapy, that's what you bring to the hospital with you." And so, just like any other parent, you'd have your little mats with the jungle gyms on the top, or the bouncy seats, or the exercisers. That would go with us down to the hospital, and she'd be getting her chemotherapy, and she'd be under her play mat, playing with her toys above her. And so, but it was that also made it normal. Right? That we were first-time parents, and this is our daughter. Yeah. This is our baby, and we want to love her as normally as possible.
Of course.
And so they offered that and encouraged it. She is in graduate school. She is studying to get her PhD in industrial organizational psychology out at the University of Akron near Cleveland, Ohio. Well, really, it's not too late this year if people would like to donate.
You're always taking money, yeah. I get that, yeah.
And an easy way to do that is to visit the website. It's www.stjuderuns.org, and you find LaSalle, Peru on the webpage, and you click to donate to that run. It's as easy as that. So, of course, people listening, we would love more donations. We're looking to really shatter our fundraising this year. So we're hoping for a large amount. This LaSalle Peru Runs, I don't know if I said it already, has raised $1.3 million to date.
1.3 million in how many years?
40,
for Peru?
39.
39 for Peru, yeah, LaSalle Peru. That's amazing.
It is, and the St. Jude Run locally, not a lot of people know about it. And so that's always amazing to me that it isn't more community felt, and that it would be my goal is to continue to build this up to a larger community scale involvement, that more people know about it, that more people could get involved. I am always looking for people to help me. Since COVID, it essentially has been myself, my husband, and one other person involved. We don't close our books until November 1st. People can certainly still donate, and it will go towards our amount, that goes to St. Jude.
Again, if you'd like to help, just go online and find the opportunity that's right for you. Thank you to Kelly and the Schaefers for sharing their story. Thanks, Kathleen Wayland, for making it possible to tell their story. And thanks to you for spending a few minutes with us today. I'll talk to you in the morning.